Maneczko wszystkim, z tej strony Wirus X Gamer się ukłania. Słuchajcie, witam w kolejnej porcji przygód z naszego Final Fantasy XVI. Ogrywamy sobie na PlayStation 5. Giereczkę, lecimy sobie z naszą historią nadal. Dalej. Zobaczymy, jak nam to pójdzie, bo w sumie udało mi się ożenić strumyk z kamerą. I przez OBS-a już bezpośrednio z komputera. Zobaczymy, jak to będzie działać. Jeżeli by coś tam gdzieś się dziwnego działo, to możecie mi dać znać w komentarzu, ewentualnie na czacie, jak będziecie widzieć. Dobra, to lecimy sobie. Chciałem sobie tutaj zrobić te misje poboczne, żeby iść dalej z historią naszą. Zobaczymy, jak nam to pójdzie. Tych misji w sumie jest, się nam posiało. Dosłownie. Dobrze, zrobimy sobie tutaj, gdzie jesteśmy teraz.
You there, the strapping lad with the sword.
Młodzień.
Finally, no one was paying me the slightest heed.
Is something wrong?
At the university, the students would hang on my every word. Sadly, this far from home, I'm just a vagrant graybeard.
The university? You're a scholar.
A specialist in ancient cultures, the most accomplished in all Valisthea, some have said. Not that I look the part in these tattered rags. In my heyday, no obstacle could have kept me from my studies. Yet here I am, a wizened windbag, bested by the many steps of Tabor. The answers I seek lying just beyond my enfeebled reach. Would you do an old man a kindness and brave the stairs in my stead? You'll be amply rewarded, of course.
Oczywiście.
Climb the stairs and...
And memorize a few inscriptions for me, assuming you know your letters, that is. Some courteous soul is rumored to have carved clues to Tabor's rich history into stones dotted about the village. 3 of them, to be precise. One each to the north, south, and east. I'm here in the hope that those carvings might shed light on a riddle I've been pondering for some time. Namely, the otherwise undocumented origins of Tabor's unique people. People quite unlike those of neighboring lands.
I can't promise I'll remember everything perfectly.
Remember what you can. I'll piece together the rest. Make for the domed pavilions, and you'll have no trouble finding the stones.
Jak to wyjść?
How are those new boots treating you?
They're fantastic. Soft as fish, but tough as boiled bone. That Cyril fellow's an odd fish, don't you think?
Well, scholarly sorts like him always are, aren't they?
No history would be complete without mention of the mother crystals.
Idziemy sobie do następnego.
Farmers must have settled here in Tabor.
Thank you for the deal egg, mister. Mummy made the pottage from it.
What golden plains might the wanderers have called home, I wonder? I should speak to the old scholar before I forget everything I've read.
Wydaje, że to nie będzie koniec. Skrzynka. Gdzieś nas pewno jeszcze pogoni do czegoś. Mając życie.
The engravings were in good repair considering their age.
Would that I could have seen for myself. Come, don't tease me now. What did you learn of this place and its people? Let's start with the engraving to the south, shall we? What did it say?
Świetnie. Zapamiętałem tego.
Guardians of the Crystal, the first stones of Tabor, sacred hold thy noble
No,
blood
pomyliłem, ale
till
co
ends the
tam?
mother's labor. I'm pretty sure that was it.
Fascinating. It would seem the founders of this city were descendants of those fallen charged with protecting the mother crystals. But whatever could have driven the Guardians so far from their sacred charges, I wonder? The engraving to the north is next, I think.
A jedziemy.
Voyages of the Ashen Ocean.
Seafarers here? Are you certain?
I'm growing less certain by the moment. Wanderers of the Golden Plains, lay your roots in stone. With pride recall thy noble past, and make these rocks a home. Or, I think that was it, at least.
No doubt you're right. There are vestiges of nomadic customs in Tabor its guardian roots could never account for. This is proving most enlightening. Now, for the final stone.
Bo to?
Children of the hunters, now tillers of the land, reap her promised blessing and give praise her gracious hand. That's all three.
And so, we add primitive farmers to Tabor's founding peoples, the final piece of the puzzle. 3 engravings, one for each of the 3 peoples to have settled Tabor in ancient times. Guardians of the Mother Crystal, wanderers from across the plains, and last but certainly not least, hunters turned farmers. Little wonder it was so difficult to trace the roots of Tabor's culture. Those roots reach down through 3 distinct traditions. Nonetheless, one cannot help but wonder why this fact is not better known among scholars, given that the stones stand here for all to see.
Too many stairs, perhaps.
Ha! Too many by far. Here, and thank you.
O, nawet tyle wystarczyło. Elegancko. Jeszcze sobie tutaj.
Careful how you pack that leather. Any creases or scratches will bring down the price.
Opportunity beckons. Who among you is bold enough to heed her call?
Is that blade for hire, perchance? Because I have a mind to make a killing.
Figuratively, I hope.
Well, yes and no. A passing caravan carried with it a rumor most fortuitous for one in my trade, that an elder Dread Evis had been sighted in the fields of Korava. Dread Evis are aggressive beasts. Compelled as they are to acts of violence, few survive to maturity, but those that do develop a hide of phenomenal value.
A hide you want to sell?
Eventually, yes. Though I would have it tanned first that it might be crafted into marvels the likes of which the world has never seen. Dread Evis skin is a rare thing indeed. But the worked hide of a well-aged beast, now that would fetch such coin that Gilbert himself might weep with envy. Bring me that beast's skin and I will share with you the bounty of our combined labors.
Jedziemy na polowanko.
I'll hunt your Evis.
W takim
Of
bądź razie.
course you will. When one lives in such troubled times, it is a fool who lets opportunity slip his grasp. Leave Tabor through the east gate, but take the path that branches west. Once you reach the checkpoint at Tovany, you are a mere stone's throw from the fields of Korava. I eagerly await your safe, and above all, triumphant return.
To jest. Tutaj. Będziemy wiedzieć, że i tak nie będzie z innej strony, więc jeden czort. No, witam czaty. Coś tam kuka na YouTubie, co tam ciekawego słychać? Dobrze, początek dobrze. Aj, spaściłem. Muszę się przyzwyczaić do tej nocy. Spróbować ją jakoś mądrze wykorzystać. Dosyć dobrze mi się grało pomocą tej ziemi, tego ikona ziemi. Właśnie tego Bahamuta wytestować. Tytan był spoko. Bahamut ma mocniejsze ciosy, więc przy starciach z jakimiś tam mocniejszymi bossami podejrzewam, że będzie ona plus. Jakieś złe chłopaki są. Dolejemy. Spaleni żywcem. Obroń Jill. Tu masz tygrysek. Przywalimy mu, czy mu nie przywalimy? Tego się nie ładujesz. Teraz się ładuje. Czy mnie nie pociśnie? Pociśnie, to nie naładuje tego. O, tak właśnie myślałem. To się tak skończy. Chodź tu, kotko. O. No te ładowane pioruny są zarąbiste. Teraz mi poprawię na tym. Proszę, on mnie jeszcze pociągnął. Doprawił mu. Cię oczypałem. Aj, spaściłem. Ale fajnie się złożyli do kupy. Jak go kopnął, a tamten go spalił. Się udało doładować przed tą walką. Aczkolwiek on chyba nie będzie jakiś specjalnie trudny do ubicia. Przywalimy mu z tego promienia na dzień dobry.
Old he may be, but there's still plenty of fight in him yet.
Spalimy go, czy go nie spalimy? Chyba nie. Skóra.
This thing reeks. The sooner it's off my hands, the better.
Cuchnie. Dobra. Zdamy sobie tę misję.
Here's your hide, as requested.
I worried you might never return. Quickly, let me see it. Oh, as supple as a maiden's cheek, yet as adamant as her virtue. This is everything I had hoped for, and more. Clearly, my trust in you was not misplaced. You must be a hunter of considerable talent to have bested the beast with nary a scratch. Join me as my honored partner. With my means and your might, we shall be as wealthy as the merchant kings of Zemeckis.
I don't plan on making a habit of this. I'm busy enough as it is.
Very well. Though I believe fate had a hand in our meeting, it would be unbecoming of me to beg. Do not allow me to keep you from being about your business. Here, for the hide.
Coś tam zarobiliśmy. Dobra, to lecimy sobie do następnych tych zadań pobocznych. Zobaczymy, co tutaj jest. No, tak. Lecimy.
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need behind.
Co tu będziemy mieli zrobić?
You know what you have to do. Clive, I fear that I must bid you farewell. As you know, our time grows short. The Lord Chief Justice's vultures are circling. We must strike now. Before we part, I want you to know that, though I may not always have been your most vocal ally, I trust you, as I trusted your predecessor.
Thank you. I appreciate the sentiment, and I understand more than anyone how you feel. But is revenge really the answer?
It is the one I found, and it is all that I have lived for since that day.
But what of Lostwing? Everything you've built.
I built Lostwing to achieve this aim. Once it is done, the village will have served its purpose. My comrades and I are sure of our cause, and we shall fight to the last, come what may. But there are those among us who cannot fight. Children, the elderly, bearers afflicted by the curse. I would place Lostwing in their hands, if I thought it would do them any good. But a village home only to the frail and the infirm is not likely to stay a safe haven for long. And so, Clive, I find myself turning to you once more. Will you take them to your hideaway, that they might live even should Lostwing die?
Jasne, że ich zabierzemy.
I will.
Thank you. I will not have it said that I did not see to the well-being of those who rallied to my cause. The people I speak of have withdrawn to Gotan's Bales, away from danger in case the Black Shields strike.
Understood. I'll make sure they get to the hideaway safely.
Then the last of my preparations are complete. Fare you well, Clive.
Kurczę, myślałem, że będzie chciał, żeby iść z nim walczyć. On nam daje uchodźców, można powiedzieć.
Come then, brother. We are awaited in Gotan's Bales.
No w sumie jakoś super dużo to ich nie ma.
Everyone. Quinton has asked that you come with me.
Co tam ciekawego u
You
ciebie?
can no longer guarantee your protection, but I can. There's a safe place I can take you to.
Well, if that's what the master thinks best.
Ciśniesz dalej w Helldivers.
None of us would be standing here today if it weren't for Master Quinton. We owe him our lives. So we ain't about to start telling him what he should do with his. If he's saying we ain't safe in Lostwing no more, it's 'cause he ain't coming back. And if that's what has to happen, then so be it. I only hope he can see this through to the end. That we get to see justice done.
I hope so too.
Oi! You lot! Where's everyone else? They ain't already left, have they?
They've gone with Master Quentin.
Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
What's wrong?
I've just come from the Justice's manor. We have to get Quentin to call off the attack. It ain't just the Black Shields protecting the place. He's got a guard dog and all. A fucking monster. They don't stand a chance against that thing. If I don't get the message to them, they're all gonna fucking die.
We can't let this happen. Sid! Don't worry about us. You've got to catch up with him. We can't let Quentin die before that bastard does.
All right. I'll do what I can. Where is this manor?
It's way over to the east, through the woods. Heaven Hall, he calls it.
Promise us, Sid. Promise us you'll do what you can.
A, witaj. Paweł. Tak, gram na PlayStation 5, tylko zrobiłem sobie, wiesz co, przez PC-ta podpięcie, bo ostatnio streamowałem bezpośrednio z konsoli i nie miałem właśnie możliwości restreama robienia na Twitcha i na YouTube'a. No i kamerki też nie było i overlayów. Jakoś tak po prostu lepiej mi w ten sposób. Więc wiesz co, nie wiem co z Helldivers 2 u mnie. Ja na razie tą grę póki co odinstalowałem. Też wpieniło mnie to, jak oni tam zaczęli wypuszczać te płatne takie niby sezony, czy jak to tam nazwać, te pakiety, gdzie uporają pierwsze z błędami serwerów, a potem wołają kasę. Dlatego osądziłem, że nie, sorry, ale ja odpuszczam na razie. Za dużo problemów z tym było. Potem miałem taki okres, że tak powiem, wycofania, gdyż troszkę miałem rzeczy na głowie innych. Grałem też Final Fantasy VII, tego remake'a z DLC-kiem. No i powiem szczerze, że troszkę się zakochałem w serii tej Final Fantasy. No i dorwałem PlayStation 5, no i gram w 16. No i czekam na Stellar Blade'a, teraz 26 kwietnia wyjdzie, więc też będę coś tam pykał. A coś dodać na PS? Nie rozumiem, o co ci, Paweł, w tym momencie chodzi. Byś mógł sprecyzować, bo naprawdę nie wiem. Ładujemy. Ach, ciachnął mnie. Zdychaj. Aha, pod tym kątem. Wiesz co, ja kupiłem jakieś 2 tygodnie temu? Wiesz co, w lany poniedziałek w sumie udało mi się kupić półroczną konsolę w dosyć dobrej kasie. Dlatego ją w sumie kupiłem. Bo wiesz, że dosyć mocnego PC-ta mam, więc bez sensu było dla mnie inwestować w jakąś kolejną rzecz. Ale jestem, powiem szczerze, mile zaskoczony tą playką. Zawsze byłem raczej taki bardziej anty-Sony. Ale powiem szczerze, że pady mnie strasznie zakręciły. Tylko zawsze grałem na tych Xboxowych w sumie pady. Od Xboxa jeszcze mam takiego zwykłego czarnego i takiego minecraftowego ma mój syn, ale w sumie leżą. I tak się zastanawiam, żeby gdzieś właśnie się upłynnić i nie dokupić sobie playki drugiego pada. Powiem szczerze, rewelacyjna. Ta hepatyka jest super i te takie, nie wiem, reaktywne te te spusty. Tylko wiesz co, ja mam jedną rzecz taką, która mnie troszkę, że tak powiem, gryzie. Już przywykłem do większej ilości FPS-ów w grach, wiesz, tutaj przykładowo 30 FPS-ów to trochę czuć, no nie? Wiesz co, właśnie słyszałem o tym Ghost of Tsushima i też myślę sobie ograć, ale możecie się ze mnie śmiać, ja tak naprawdę tą playkę kupiłem tylko ze względu na Stellar Blade'a. A przy okazji wpadł mi właśnie Final Fantasy, którego mi w sumie pożyczył nawet mój przyszły niedoszły szwagier, bo też ma PlayStation. I zawsze śmiałem do niego, jak dorwałem tą playkę, że piekło zamarzło, bo zawsześmy się kłócili gdzieś tam przy jakichś imprezach takich rodzinnych. Bo on zawsze całe życie na playce, no nie? Zawsze było Xbox i Windows, nie? To się śmiał ze mnie trochę. Ale w sumie nie żałuję, powiem szczerze. Fajnie jest to pomyślane. Tam jakieś, kurde, Jedi chodzą, no. Skasujemy ich. Jaką wersję kupiłeś, jeśli mogę zapytać? Tą digital czy z napędem? Bo mi udało się dostać tą z napędem. Zdychajcie. A to ja cię, słuchaj, przebiłem, bo ja kupiłem za 1300 zł. Z 2 padami. Ten, na którym gram, no to jest od niej, że tak powiem, bezpośrednio z pudełka. A drugi był tam używany, koleś mi tam dorzucił go, gdzieś mu tam ktoś go dał, ale okazał się uszkodzony ten pad. Dzieje się na nim coś takiego, że jak go sparuję z konsolą, to mi konsolę włącza od czasu do czasu, jakieś zwarcie gdzieś tam wewnątrz robi. Ale pady nie są jakieś tam super drogie, 2,5 stówy już widziałem, że idzie dorwać. Niebieski mi się podoba, muszę sobie kupić. I powiem szczerze, że jestem zachwycony jakby precyzją tych analogów. Grałem na różnych padach, ale to co tutaj Sony odwaliło w tym padzie od Playki 5 to jest no zajebista sprawa. Mega precyzyjnie się na tym gra. Może nie jest to precyzja myszki, ale i tak jest naprawdę super. No musimy się tam gdzieś dodać do znajomych, to może w jakieś gierki się tam coś kiedyś zagra. Na playaczu.
Clive, look.
No. Don't tell me we're too late.
Dobra, ciśniemy. Ogólnie sobie chcę jeszcze tą 7 Final Fantasy Rebirth ograć, tylko że na razie jest tylko na PlayStation 5 i nie ma do niej spolszczenia niestety. A chciałbym sobie doinstalować właśnie spolszczenie, więc muszę zaczekać aż wyjdzie na PC-ta i wrzucić.
Quentin, are you all right?
No. But I am alive. Which is more than I can say for my comrades. They followed me without question all the way here. And they died. For nothing.
This must be the guard dog.
No, znowu tygrysek.
I'll hold it off. You go.
But
your comrades didn't die for nothing. They died for you. Don't let their sacrifice be in vain.
I won't.
Come on, then.
That is no real guard dog.
No siema, żołonoc. Lejemy koteczka.
To be put down.
I piorunem go. Da się go swajczyć, zanim się oszołomi, czy nie? A, uciekł. A. Oj, panie. No, tu jest Alanax więcej takich fajnych tygrysków. O, pokażę ci coś, tobie się coś spodoba. Wąs dostałem.
If only we'd arrived earlier.
No, to jest taki, wiesz, troszkę magiczny świat, więc są takie te postacie, wiesz, troszkę inne. Czekaj, jak ten quest się skończy, to ci coś zajebistego pokażę.
It is. He wept and begged for mercy. And I cut him from ear to ear.
Skubany.
Just as I dreamed of doing all these years. All my plans.
Jak
Building
rzeźnik
a
wyszedł.
haven in Lostwing. Freeing bearers from their chains and recruiting them to my cause. It was all for this. But what is this? Justice? My faithful comrades. All those lives lost. So that I might take another.
Quentin.
Master Quentin! Oh, thank Grieger you're safe.
You're alive.
And so are you. I'm so sorry. I tried to warn you about that thing. And I hate to say it, but there's more bad news.
Quest chyba będzie dłuższy.
It's Lostwing. It's been flooded.
What?
Zaczekaj jeszcze chwilę, Alanax. Musisz ten quest skończyć, to się muszę do swojej kryjówki przenieść, to ci pokażę zajebistego Pokemona, to by się spodoba. O kurde, potop. Eteru.
Lostwing. My Lostwing.
And look who's here.
Przemienieni.
They must have stolen in after we left, just before the flood struck. What if there are still people in there?
Don't be a fool! Damn it. Quentin's not going to last long in there.
Finish this quickly.
Chyba to nie widać, co się dzieje w ogóle. Załatwienie. Tutaj mam iść. Jest. Jeszcze jakiś przeżył? Au. Dobra, po nich.
I need to get back to Quentin.
Pogląd. Jesień, nie? Przystępuję. Aj, leży. Chyba po hopie.
Quentin! Quentin! Look at me! Thank the founder. He hasn't turned. I'm going to get you out of here. Welcome back to the land of the living.
Is Lostwing?
Serio, wyglądałeś rzeźnie, nawet z tym fartuchem, nie?
I see. Then all is at an end. A strange way to achieve one's life's ambition.
No, Master Quentin. Save your strength.
Why? All that I strove for is gone. Only emptiness remains. I have nothing left to live for.
What the heck are you on about? You've got us, ain't you? Don't try telling me you only freed us so you could get revenge. We're more than that to you, and we all know it.
I thought you weren't coming back. But I prayed, and you did. There's got to be a reason for that, right? Can't we just go back to how it was? You know, you looking after us all.
Your work ain't over yet, Master Quentin. We believed that you were the right man to lead us, and we still do.
Your village may be lost, but it seems your people aren't, so long as you remain to guide them.
But why? After what why would anyone follow me?
'Cause we're family, aren't we?
Family?
Yeah, and all our comrades who went with you, they felt the same. Lostwing weren't just a village. It was all of us.
It was. And as long as we're still here, it is too.
We can start again. Build a new Lostwing, right here in the Bales.
A fresh start. One life ends, and another begins. Why just a village? We could build towns. A nation, even. What's to stop us?
Ambitny plan.
That's the Master Quentin we know.
Please. I am nobody's master. Quentin will suffice. After all, we are family. Permit me to withdraw my request. I will no longer be needing your help in looking after my people.
I'll pretend you never asked.
But you must be rewarded for your efforts on our behalf. You saved my life twice over. And more besides.
Co dostaniemy?
A bottle or two of your finest red will suffice.
Of course.
Buteleczka.
Nothing but the best. And I have a feeling that this year's vintage will be the finest yet. If you don't mind waiting, that is.
I look forward to it.
Dobra, czekaj, Anonox, pokażę ci Pokemona. Zresztą no reszta też będzie widzieć, więc... Nie wam. To jest mapka. Moja kryjówka. Pokémon daje zlecenia na polowanie na potwory.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Kurczę, to ładnie było, tylko to niebo zmieniło kolor po misji. Taki tam koleś, którego muszę ubić, jakby zaczarował. Jest takie jakby na fioletowo lekko. O, tu jest Pokémon, patrz. Nektar. Nektar jest zajebisty. Ze skrzydłami. A tu jest tablica łowiecka na potwory. Tego chciałem ubić. Tego chciałem ubić, ale nie dało rady. No to myślę, że będą do ubicia. Mężczyzna w czerni. Patrz, jaki zajebisty nektar. Włochaty. Petarda jest. No dobra, idziemy sobie dalej te misje poboczne. Woods. O, dużo. Tyle nektar. Nektar przez 10 godzin. Nie no, przez 10 godzin to by nie było co tam robić. Ale ale polowanko na te bestie jest w sumie fajne, bo tam za ubicie zbiera się takie jakby wyjątkowe rzeczy, z których potem można sobie wytworzyć jakieś tam bronie, czy wyposażenie takie mocne. Ja na przykład ten miecz, który mam tutaj, ślepiający płomień, Excalibur, też był właśnie wytworzony z tych komponentów właśnie za zabijanie. Pas, o tutaj bransolety smokobójczyni też były. Marta powie.
Just a man I was hoping to see.
Oh? And why is that?
Remember how some of Sir Wade's guardians took up residence here after the Akashic attacked? Well, now the rest have come to join him. Seems their barracks in the Lazarus have been lost to an ether flood. Now, I don't mind having a few more brave boys around to keep them animals at bay. I ain't daft after all. But we ain't got nowhere for 'em to bed down. Poor buggers are having to make do with haylofts and chocobo pens. I'd build 'em a new barracks here if I could. But where would I put 'em? There just ain't enough room up here on the rock. Which leaves us in a bit of a pickle. The people we're counting on to keep us safe are living like beggars.
I see.
And it ain't just that lot. There's bears to think about too. There's been more and more of them turning up lately, coming from all over looking for safe haven. But there's only so many we can shelter with the room we've got. We can't keep cramming more and more people into less and less space. What we need is a new home for our new arrivals. And that's what I was hoping you might help me with. If it ain't too much of a burden, of course.
Jasne, że pomożemy.
Thank you, Clive.
So, where were you thinking of making this new home?
Well, I reckon we could do a lot worse than Eastpool.
Eastpool. It's been a long time since I thought about that place.
It was a tragedy, what happened. And if any of us could have done anything to stop it, we would have. But what's done is done. And those who lived there wouldn't have wanted the village they loved to be left in ruins.
I suppose you're right.
The blight might be pressing in, but I reckon it's got a good few years left in it yet. There's just one problem. A band of cutthroats have made it their den, and they don't seem like they'll be moving on in a hurry. Nasty bastards they are too. I've lost some good men to their raids. Would have sent someone to clear them out sooner, if my boys didn't already have their hands full fending off the Akashic. But now we've got a few more Guardians of the Flame to call on. I reckon it's time we made our move. What do you say? Fancy leading a raiding party?
I do. Eastpool was once home to people I loved. I won't have bandits sully those memories. I'll gladly drive them out of there.
And I know the men will gladly follow you. I've already shared a few thoughts with Sir Wade
Ja
about how
może
we
sam
might be able to win
przejdę,
the
nie
place back.
potrzebuję obstawy.
And I dare say he's got some ideas of his own too. Why don't you go and talk to him?
Of course.
Back to Eastpool, then.
Not just yet. Let's hear Wade's plan first.
Nie, Fortnite nie. Puszczę, słuchaj, ciebie, ty możesz spokojnie postreamować Fortnite'a. Dobrze ci tam idzie,
So
więc
Wade, it's good to see you well.
Fortnite nie dla mnie.
And you, Lord Rosfield. And you.
I spoke with Martha. She tells me you have plans to free Eastpool and make it your own.
That's right, though it was mostly her idea. I
That's
rather
it.
fear my men have been treading on her toes somewhat since joining us, not to mention each other's. And then there are the bearers, men and women who found the courage to flee their masters and sought refuge here. We need somewhere to settle them, and I can think of worse places than Eastpool.
As can I. Which is why I agreed to help you win it back.
That's very kind of you. I'd be most grateful if you would. With you beside us, we shall soon send that rabble of rogues running for the hills.
So, what can you tell me?
That thankfully there aren't too many of them. Fewer than a dozen at our last count. And rather less, thankfully. The road that leads there will more than likely still be crawling with Akashic. A small
Akashic
force
to nie
would suffice
problem.
to clear the village. But if the Akashic were to follow them in, that force could end up trapped between a rock and a very hard place indeed.
I'll head into Eastpool and deal with the bandits. You and the Guardians can stay outside the village and fend off any Akashic who come too close. Make sure I'm not taken unawares.
I can't ask you to bear all that risk yourself, my lord.
The Akashic are the bigger risk. I can handle a few bandits.
Well, if you're sure, I shall summon my men at once.
Shall I wait for you here?
No need, my lord. You go on ahead. We'll be with you before long.
All right. I'll meet you at Eastpool then.
We shall see you there. And may victory await our coming.
No to idziemy spuścić mantę bandziorom. A, ja się tobie dziwię, że ty nie streamujesz u siebie Fortnite'a. Alanox. Wiesz, to nie moje klimaty, trochę za stary na Fortnite'a jestem, ale ty... Wiesz, to jest... Dobra, tu się przeniesiemy. Reptać tyle. O! Słuchaj, żeby setkę zebrać, trzeba grać w coś takiego, co ludzie oglądają, nie? Ja przez to tak, wiesz, kapię te subskrypcje, bo niestety z racji mojego, może powiem, że starszego gracza, jakim jestem, to gram w to, co chcę grać, a nie w to, co ludzie, wiesz, oglądają jakoś super, nie? Jak to ujmę.
That's the end of that then. Or maybe not.
A, no to masz tam więcej. O! Legma przyszła.
What's that thing doing here? Doesn't matter. It goes too.
Pychaj. Zeżarł mnie skumany. Skubany. Będzie lał paluchami. Chyba się go nie uda spalić. Teraz padnie? Chyba padnie. Padł. Spoko. Tajemnica mówisz.
Any more surprises? I'll take that as a no.
Bravo. A magnificent display, my lord.
You were watching. I thought you were keeping an eye out for a Kashik.
We were. Put down more than a few on the road, then arrived just in time to see you slay that... whatever it was.
Let's hope it was the last of its kind. Though I expect you and the Guardians will be up to the challenge should another appear.
I would hope so, my lord.
Your men will be bringing the bearers who'll be living here, I assume. It might be best to send word for them to come right away, before any other unsavory characters move in.
Of course. I'll send orders for them to depart immediately. Leave it with me, my lord.
Home. Without masters.
No. We're the masters now. Our lives are our own at last.
That's all of them, and not a single Akashek in sight. Now to begin the important work of rebuilding the place. It won't be easy, especially not after 5 years of beasts and blackguards having their wicked way with the place. The masonry might still be sturdy enough, but half the beams are rotted. Those that weren't lost in the fire or burned by the bandits, that is. It'll take a bit of elbow grease, but we'll see Eastpool rise again. Just you wait.
So wait. Lady Hannah is buried here. If you don't mind, I'd like Oscar to join the rebuilding efforts. He should be a part of this.
Of course. I couldn't agree more.
I'll let Martha know that everyone arrived safely. If you need anything more, you have only to send a Stolas.
And we will, my lord. Safe travels.
Eastpool lives again.
Let's go and tell Martha the good news.
Dobra, to lecimy.
There you are. All went well then. Sir Wade told me you got rid of the bandits while his lot kept an eye out. Nicely done. And what's all this about some shape-shifting nightmare showing up? On second thoughts, don't tell me. It'll only give me nightmares of me own. What matters is you did it, and now we can build our new village.
I suppose it will be. What will you call it?
What else? Eastpool. Sir Wade said it best. There's plenty bad happened to that place, but that don't undo the good that happened there. No need to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Did Wade say that?
Well, something along those lines. Anyway, the poor souls might have made it to Eastpool, but their work ain't done yet. So the way I see it, neither is mine. If it's food or lumber or strong backs they need, the rest is ready to provide it.
Thank you, Martha.
No, thank you. You didn't have to help us.
I wanted to.
No i elegancko. Questik zrobiony. Do opanowania. Jeszcze tu. Czekaj, nas swędzi. Ach. Pozwólmy sobie przerwę na fajkę, zaraz wracam. Polecimy sobie dalej z tematem. Dobra. Jestem. Lecimy sobie dalej. Z naszymi questami.
If we're going to do this, we'll need help.
Then we'll have to find it. Clive, your timing is impeccable. It just so happens that right at this very moment, we're in need of someone with your talents.
And what talents would those be?
Why, your fearlessness and your skill with a blade.
I'm listening.
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, when these dark skies swept over the Republic, so too did a wave of chaos and confusion. Randalar has been particularly badly affected. Many of the capital's bearers have lost their masters, or taken the opportunity to flee them. None remain free for long, of course. Most find themselves under the protection of the Fist before they get far. But the army too is in disarray, and finds itself unable to provide for its new charges. Which means it has been looking to sell.
And you've been looking to buy, to make sure these masterless bearers remain that way.
Precisely. It's the perfect opportunity to free dozens more, and for an attractive price, no less.
So where does my skill with a blade come in?
Though we may have the funds to buy these bearers, we have nowhere to house them. So we've been searching for a place where they can be resettled. Somewhere far from the prying eyes of those who would see them enslaved once more. And we believe we have found one. Cashlock. A small hamlet hidden in a canyon. The place was abandoned a long time ago, but when the men moved out, the beasts moved in.
And so we seek the aid of a fearless swordsman to encourage them to look elsewhere. You'll help, won't you?
No pewnie.
How could I refuse?
Excellent. Theo, if you wouldn't mind making arrangements for the transportation of our guests, as we discussed.
Of course. Leave everything with me.
Sounds like you'll have your work cut out for you.
I will. We have an entire village to stock and furnish. Residents and all. Even if I begin right now, I'll be working day and night. So I'd better get started. Try to clear the place out before the wagons roll in, won't you?
I'll do my best.
You will find a village in Chadra's Thread, past Lateney's Cleft. My man there will open the gate for you.
All right. Wish me luck.
I'm sure you won't need it.
To się jumpnie. Tutaj bliżej. Chyba nie.
Oh, you're a friend of the Crimson Caravans. And by the look of you, I'd say you were the help they told me was on its way. Cashlock's just down there, if you'd be so kind.
Gobliny. Schowane. Podoba mi się ta rzeka tutaj. Tak, tam mamy iść do tej wioski.
in a nice place once.
It will be again.
Tak, robi kurde tarcha. I palimy towarzystwo. Ale chyba nie padną. Albo... A, nie padną. Pasowałby jeszcze jeden jakiś taki atak obszarowy, żeby ich dobijać ewentualnie. Zresztą ładnie sieje tym promieniem ognia.
I think that's the last of them.
I think you're right. Let's head back to Boklat.
Jeszcze sobie pochomikujemy to. Mam manię chomikowania takich rzeczy. Jak widzę, że coś do zdobycia, to staram się wszystko zbierać w takich grach. Aczkolwiek naciąłem się w Starfieldzie na takie rupieci. Tam to było tego normalnie tyle, że się można było zwymiotować. Większość rzeczy była bezużyteczna. Po prostu śmieci zajmowały miejsce. Mam nadzieję, że wyjdzie DLC i poprawią tego kurde Starfielda z tymi takimi rzeczami, bo szkoda tej gry.
Something the matter, Theodore? Quiet.
Those are our terms. I trust that you will give them your full consideration.
I shall. Thank you.
Ciekawe, o co chodzi. Ja witam czaty na Twitchu. Ktoś tam nam dobył.
Him again.
Someone you know?
Yes. And, no. But enough about him. How did you fare down in Cashlock?
It's done. The village is safe now.
You made quick work of it, as always.
I should go and let Eloise know.
Don't let me keep you. But Clive, don't tell her I was watching her, will you? She'll only get upset. I'll explain everything once you've finished with your report.
All right. We'll speak then.
Oj, czyżby nam się misja przedłużyła? Albo kolejny jakiś questik nam wskoczył. Przeczytania.
Eloise, I just got back from Cashlock. The village should be safe now.
Thank you, Clive. Here, something for your trouble. Well then, now that you have laid the groundwork for our little project, I suppose we'd better finish the job. The first thing we'll need to do is make sure our offer for the bearers is accepted.
You're still in negotiations?
We are. A trusted colleague has been dealing with the Fist on our behalf, but things have been trickier than we anticipated. I suppose it's to be expected. This is the army we're dealing with. Fighting's what they do. But we shall emerge victorious in the end.
Well, if you need any help, You know where to find me.
I'm not sure I do, but thank you all the same.
Pościg ukończony. Elegancko. No, narka.
Ah, Clive.
You wanted to talk?
The man I was watching earlier, the one speaking to my sister. He represents the Silver Peak Consortium. It's one of the bigger trading houses.
I don't think I've heard of them.
Well, every trader in Dharmekia has. They operate across the length and breadth of the Republic. And they're still expanding. They've been trying to get Eloise to join their ranks for some time now. And judging by her reaction earlier, I'd say she had half a mind to accept their latest offer.
And you'd rather she didn't?
I would rather she did what makes her happy. And I would never deny her such an opportunity. Eloise saved me from slavery. And we have striven to save others like me ever since. But this was not the life my sister wanted, nor the one she deserves. I won't let her give up on her dreams again for my sake. She freed me from my bonds. And she must be freed from hers in turn.
You're a good man, Theo.
I have always been grateful for what my sister did for me. And I want to repay the favor by letting her live her own life. But each time an opportunity to do just that arises, she turns it down. For my sake.
She loves you.
And I love her. Which is why I want this time to be different. To show her that I don't need to be watched over anymore. Though I'm sure I'll still need some help from time to time. I trust that I can count on you.
Always.
Thank you, Clive. Well then, I had better get back to work. These bearers aren't going to move themselves. That's a job for the Crimson Caravans.
Elegancko. Dobrze, to co mam? Wszystkie kościki poboczne zaliczone na chwilę. No, czy co tam gdzieś pchnęło? No chyba nie. Chyba nie. Rzeczek to może być taka grubsza akcja. Napiszemy sobie to. Nas też będzie czekało.
Sounds like thunder.
You're late. We're starting to think you'd stumbled off a cliff.
I seem to recall that was you, Gav.
Good to see you. Any trouble on the road?
Nothing we couldn't handle.
I knew you'd come.
Is that who I think it is?
Yes.
Allow me to introduce my brother, Joshua.
Clive's told me all about you. Or even listening most of the time. Name's Midadol, but everyone calls me Mid.
My lady.
Hey?
My boy. Uncle Byron.
It's really you. I never thought I'd see the day.
No i rodzinka się poniekąd spotkała.
So these Akashic are being controlled?
That's what it looked like. Empty eyes, eerie blue glow. No doubt they were turned, but silent as monks, every last one of them.
Your man here speaks true, Clive. We saw more than a few in this city. They moved in ranks with a purpose, and not of their own.
Ultima's doing.
Perhaps.
What of the city? The people?
Dead, mostly.
Mostly, but not all. A handful managed to lock themselves in their villas before the horde arrived. Some in the merchants' district to the west, and a few others on the far bank.
If the Akashic stumble across either hiding place, a few bolted doors won't hold them for long. We need to find them. And quickly.
What do you propose?
We split into two parties. I will make for the merchants' district, while you look to those across the river. Mind keeping an eye on my brother?
Not at all. We find the villa and try the servants' entrance.
Understood. And what of us?
Mid, is she fit to sail?
The ship, the mithril engine could probably do with a few more tweaks.
Then you better work fast. Even if we do reach the survivors in time, they'll never make it to the hideaway on foot.
You leave that to me.
See that Mid doesn't get herself into trouble, would you?
Think I can manage that?
I'll keep him safe.
Looks like you stuck with me, Byron.
That's Lord Rosfield, you little gutter snipe!
Shall we then?
And you keep Clive safe.
Be careful. Both of you.
You too.
Naszym piesiumiem.
All right, Torgal. Let's find those survivors. They don't stand a chance against those things.
Dobra, to lecimy na ratunek. Pewnie się nam uda. O! To jest jakiś taki boss, kurde, ala no. Nie zwróciłem sobie na niego uwagi. No to z pioruna go. Auć. Wyjechaj. Auć. tak, po prostu. Rzeźni worków.
What happened to the Royal Army? There's nothing but monsters here.
Idziemy dalej.
No mistakes.
A. Ouch. Ach. Przywali czy nie przywali? Padnie? Chyba padnie. Cholera. Przełącza mi się na tę moc tego Bahamuta. Iść. Tam. Będę zrobić save'a? Damy radę. Dobra, resztę sobie dokończymy jutro. Dzisiaj już nie dam rady dłużej streamować. Dobrze, słuchajcie, muszę sobie kończyć tego strumyka już na dzisiaj. Dzięki wszystkim za oglądanie. Nie zapomnijcie zostawić łapki. Myślę, że zapraszam jutro na kolejną część naszych przygód Final Fantasy XVI, słuchajcie. A tymczasem miłej nocki, wieczorku.